The news, good evening. The National Council for Children and its partners are urging members of the public to be on the lookout for 3 boys who have been absent from their homes since 3 days ago. The 3 boys are brothers Faraj and Farid Aglaye, 11 and 12 years old respectively, and Darren Musbi, 13 years old. The NCC says this is not the first time that the 3 boys have been absent from their residential care home. The council is working with the social services in the Ministry of Family Affairs and the police force to locate them. The NCC is urging members of the public who may have seen the 3 boys, know their whereabouts, or have any relevant information to contact the closest police station or the Children's Helpline on 4322 626. The Council reminds members of the public that it is an offence under the law to harbour, shelter, or take care of a child without his or her parents' or guardians' knowledge or consent. The stevedoring company Lenmarine has confirmed that it has purchased the site of the half-built private hospital at Roche Caïman. The business has refused to say how much it paid, but is promising several kinds of new business will occupy the site.
For a decade, the semi-derelict structure has been a forlorn-looking blot on the landscape. Originally envisioned as a private hospital by Dr. V. Ramados, it was first repossessed, then sold by Nuvabank. The unlikely new owner, the port handling company Land Marine, paid an undisclosed sum. Confirming the deal to SBC News today, it says it's appointed a specialist to explore options for several kinds of new business without giving specifics. It says these could still include a private medical facility. Land Marine, which is fully Seychellois-owned, says the purchase has saved the site from falling into foreign ownership. The company is currently occupying premises at the new port under a leasing arrangement which is due to expire next year and is out to tender. Neither Land Marine nor Nuvabank have commented further on the Roche Caïman deal.
A final draft has been agreed for general occupation permit for foreign workers. This follows several consultative meetings with the private sector, representatives from the Employment Department, the Seychelles Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Seychelles Hospitality and Tourism Association, the Seychelles Federation of Workers Union, the General Employees Trade Union of Seychelles. All parties involved met with President Danifo at State House this morning. Expatriate workers who are stuck in Seychelles because their country's borders are closed will be given an extension of 3 months GOP free of charge until they are able to go back home. Those who are outside of Seychelles and are still employed, their case will be assessed based on requests from their employers. The minister responsible for employment, Miriam Telemac, says there has been agreement on various points. Amongst them, employers will be able to transfer their foreign workers to another employer under certain conditions.
This proposal was put before the government because there is a need for employers whose businesses have been affected by the COVID situation and they would like to transfer the employees to another business or to a new employer. We know this is very, it's very dicey or very sensitive because there is the element of human trafficking. This is why the government has agreed for a period of time from the 1st of July until the end of the year. The employee concerned will have to agree to the transfer, and the first employer will have to pay all the legal benefits as per the contract of employment to the employee. And the second employer will need to provide food and shelter and accommodation and apply for a new GOP for the employee, and a new contract of employment will have to be deposited at employment.
And the SCCI's chairman has expressed his satisfaction with the outcome of this meeting.
I believe the deliberations and consultation has been being made since last week has been extremely positive. and the GOP framework that's been formalized by us in collaboration with the government. I think it's something that really will bring in terms of content with the private sector. I think it is fair and it is very balanced. But I think what is also very important is that we've had solid discussion with regards to the importance of developing, skilling and training of Seychellois workforce as we move forward. And also in addition to that is with regards to how we ensure that we have various programs and schemes in terms of the unemployment. But discussions are still ongoing for that, and we hope that as we proceed during the week and next week, that we can have a bit more clarity together with the government, so we then more or less provide the country with the clarity, which I think is really important.
There are still no active COVID-19 cases in Seychelles. 88 people are still in the quarantine facility. 79 are at the Bajai Hotel, while 9 are at the Family Hospital at Ile Perseverance. The Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Jude Gedeon, says since Seychelles has opened its ports of entries for travelling under strict guidelines, the Health Department has so far received 15 applications for entry of private jets and yachts. Dr. Gedeon says many people are not respecting social distancing guidelines.
I would say a disappointment on our part of certain people's behavior. In terms of workplaces, faith-based organizations, schools, things are going quite well. But when it comes to socializing, people are not doing it properly, whether it comes to shopping or social activities on the weekends. There is no regard to social distancing, and this worries us.
A family from Belazar has recounted to the Truth Commissioners how they were repeatedly victimized, including one family member being shot at before some were forced into exile. Dora Michel was appearing alongside her brothers to describe how her uncle, who was a customs officer, was targeted outside Korgat Estate by armed supporters of President Albert René. She showed the panel a photograph depicting 2 bullet holes in a wall from rounds which narrowly missed him.
Out of nowhere, a group of drunk thugs drove past at full speed in a pickup and fired twice at him. Poor uncle was petrified and got the scare of his life. This incident had never happened in this country before. Guns in the hands of thugs. It was a nightmare.
Ms. Michel went on to describe how her father was sacked from his job as head teacher at Belazar School. She said her Belgian husband's outspokenness resulted in them being forced to flee with their young daughter.
It was with deep sorrow, sadness and pain that I left my home, my family, my friends, and my beautiful homeland in June 1987 with our 5-year-old daughter. What broke my heart was the devastation of my beloved parents seeing their little grandchild leaving.
The Minister for Finance, Maurice Lusulalan, has told the National Assembly that the 45 Kenyan nurses who arrived early last month have been placed into hospitals, clinics and other places as they go through the orientation period. However, of the 45, only 16 have been accredited by the National Council of Nurses. The 26 others are temporarily considered as nursing assistants whilst the Council awaits for documentation from Kenya, but they are indeed trained and registered nurses. Minister Lusulalan was speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Health during question time in the National Assembly this morning. And with this, we end this news summary. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening.